Right now, there's still only one major currency, and it's going to depend on how it works, what works out with this war and everything. But and there's one alternative. It's gold, but it's also potentially Bitcoin. So that's why I long term I have to, I don't know exactly what's going to happen with the dollar, but I think I do one thing I want to point out. When people point out at the demise of and how the dollar's declined 97% over a certain period, something like that, they always forget to include that interest.
Mike
Right.
McGlone, as experts and seasoned investors agree on the United States approaching a recession, certain asset classes may outperform others during this economic downturn. He discussed why gold could outshine Bitcoin in a downturn. McGlone is expressing bearish sentiment on Bitcoin and other crypto assets. Based on the most recent data retrieved on May 8th, the price of gold was recorded at $2,023 per ounce. Although it had decreased by approximately $30 compared to its recent peak, it remains 0.74% or $17 higher than its value 1 month ago. On the other hand, Bitcoin was trading at $27,967 at the time, experiencing a 3.19% decrease within the day and a 4.7% decline over the previous week. However, it still maintained a modest gain of 0.12% on its monthly chart. According to McGlone, there is a growing momentum and inclination towards a U.S. recession, which could potentially benefit gold over Bitcoin in 2023, especially if the stock market experiences a decline. The current trend observed over a 100-week period shows gold moving upward while the crypto market experiences declines. In a tweet, he said, Bitcoin/gold ratio may be telling for what's to come with the U.S. recession. The crypto appears vulnerable versus the precious metal.
Bull market that's ready to break out. I can't say that about virtually any other market I see. So gold at the end of the quarter settled its highest level ever. That was Q1. At the end of the month, if we settle here, it's be the highest month ever. And it's in the maximum disdain period, like you said, cup and handle. It's been frustrating everybody. I see it like I just remember in the trading pits when you'd see a market that was offered at two, and so many people, hey, I got 1,000 offered at two, and finally it flips two bid. Before you know, it goes three bid. That's what I think is gonna happen to go. I think it's gonna do very much similar to what he did in 2007 and 8, was bumping up around 800, and finally, before you knew it, it was 1,900. Just took a couple of years. That, to me, is a fundamental and technical situation for gold. The deepest pockets on the planet are buying gold, central banks. Uh, don't wanna fade them. One thing that's also notable about gold um, is gold ETF holdings have not picked up much. They're actually unchanged in the year, yet gold's up 10% on a 12-month basis. And these ETF holdings haven't moved. So I think it's not even retail in the spaceship. I think they're going to realize this is an asset that over time versus a dollar price always goes up versus a basket of fiat currencies, gold price always goes up and it only goes down after it goes up a lot. It's just the way it works because you just can't, it's that unique. The thing is, in the last many, I'd say 5, 10 years, it's had decent competition from Bitcoin. So the way I look at gold is I fully expect gold to pop to 3,000 at some point. I don't know when I try to be careful. An equivalent rally that it did during starting from 7 to 11 or so was to get towards 5,000. I don't see what stops that. That's in US dollars. Now it's made highs in the euro, it made high in the yen. But I don't see it. To me, it's imprudent to hold gold anymore without some Bitcoin in that space. The key thing is if you look at that Bitcoin to gold ratio, it's been up over time. It's starting to tick back down. It's bounced. I think it's going to back down again because I see gold as it's outperforming Bitcoin on the 12-month basis. And if I'm right about this correction in the equity market, which is my base case, that's going to drag down all risk assets. Cryptos are some of the riskiest assets. It's just Bitcoin's the least risky, but gold I see is, yeah, I don't see what stops the rallies.
As per Mike's analysis, in the event of a stock market decline, the majority of altcoins are expected to undergo a significant correction, potentially leading Bitcoin to reach a new low in the bear market. McGlone suggests that even if the stock market does not experience a major downturn, Bitcoin is not projected to outperform other assets. According to him, there is a possibility of both the stock and cryptocurrency markets collapsing in the event of a U.S. default. McGlone holds a bearish view on cryptocurrencies, but remains bullish on gold.
If the stock market, let's put it this way, my base case is going to 3,000. Bitcoin's going to go down. I don't know how far. It might make a new low. Cryptos will go down real hard. And we're going to purge some of these 24,000 cryptos and get rid of some. They're just silly. But Bitcoin and Ethereum will come out ahead. So my base case is that's going to happen. S&P 500 goes to 3,000. Yields drop a lot. Maybe might by the end of this year, but next year will be more enduring. It'll just continue that. And I think we're supposed to get one of those periods like we did. I remember from 2002 to like 3 and 1 and 4. It took forever you have to get through this enduring period of a severe, um, I would say, purge of assets. To me, that's my base case. The biggest surprise will be if we don't go down the stock market. I don't fully expect Bitcoin to outperform that case. So there's kind of a win-win.
Yeah.
But, that would be kinda strange, I think, and historically, it will prove that, oh, so the rules and laws of liquidity and pumps and dumps and cycles in markets may no longer apply. I'd be kind of concerned about that.
Yeah.
What happened last week, copper breaking down is kinda
Mm.
going the way I was expecting. Bitcoin and Ethereum peaking, Bitcoin around 30,000, Ethereum around 2,000 is going that way. Um, 10-year note yield dropping. It could not stay above 4% very long, dropping down. 2-year olds could not stay above 5%, despite Fed tightening. Could not do it. Offered back at 4 now. Everything's leaning that way. And copper was, I think, the big one last week when it broke down.
The momentum behind de-dollarization trends is growing, with countries aiming to minimize their vulnerability to risks and volatility associated with the US dollar. China and other nations are actively exploring alternative currencies and establishing new financial institutions that operate independently from the dollar-dominated global financial system. In the latest market report by CryptoSlate, it delves into the potential end of the US dollar's reign as the world's reserve currency. The report explores the de-dollarization trends happening worldwide and investigates the role that Bitcoin might play in the global economy. According to McGlone's, Bitcoin has the potential to replace fiat currency.
I think those are trees in the forest of the dollar domination. I mean, I've heard it so many times in my career, and now's a good time to beat up on the dollar. Um, But I like to use if you take measure the dollar versus a basket of fiat currencies, just to use the New York Fed dollar trade weighted dollar index. The only time the dollar versus a basket of fiat currencies goes down is after it goes up a lot. And we went up a lot recently. It just backs up and then goes back to trend. There's no better example of a fiat currency on the planet. Maybe Swiss in the short term, but if the US unveils its veil of protection of Europe, Russian tanks can go right down to Switzerland. I mean, it's that significant for the dollar. And I mean, that's macro, the deepest markets in the world. I mean, this discourse we're having about the debt ceiling, it's horrible, but it shows our strength. It just, we'll beat the shit out of each other. I'm sorry, I got to watch that. We'll beat ourselves up. And it just shows how strong we are once we come to the right conclusion, as Churchill says. You're not going to see that in China. It's whatever Mr. Z says. But I like to use one specific example for the dollar that has really kept me bullish the last few years, and that's cryptos. The most widely traded cryptos are dollar tokens. That
Yeah,
happen
stable coins.
completely organically. Yeah, to me, crypto dollars, I call them, because 'cause they're just like euro dollars, and I remember having this debate with not a conversation with my, our Audrey Chill Freeman, who's our equity strategist, I'm sorry, FX strategist, and pointing this out, and we came around that, well, that's a significant organic sign on a global basis that there's no better base currency on the planet, still isn't, than the dollar. Now, we're going to see some of this trading in other currencies. We should see that certainly between, let's say, the yuan and the ruble. And I like to say, well, good luck with that one. Good. Try it all you want. And then where are all those reserves going to end up? Obviously, some form of physical assets like gold, which is what they're doing. And eventually, as Saifedean Ammous suggests, maybe Bitcoin.
Mike McGlone has suggested that gold is likely to showcase its dominance and continue to outperform Bitcoin in the coming months at a time the precious metal seeks to attain new highs. Gold and Bitcoin are two assets that are widely regarded as viable options to offer the necessary safety and security in investment portfolios. On this note, we conclude our video. If you found this content valuable, show your support by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel to stay updated with the latest news and videos. Thank you for joining us.